Crowhill here. Today we review a dopplebock and contrast liberals and leftists.
All right.
Good evening, Pigweed. How's it going?
Crowhill.
How about some beer and conversation?
That's a great idea.
All right.
What are we drinking?
Well, this is a dopplebock.
A dopplebock.
Fantastic. So what's on your mind?
Well, different labeling is difficult, problematic, as they say.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about Democrats, you hear they're like normie Democrats, liberals, leftists, progressives.
Yeah.
I'm not really seeing any distinction out there, but we'll talk about what that might be.
Yeah, okay, all right. It's kind of hard to parse through it all, but so what? Troegenator here. Troegs, this is Pennsylvania, isn't it?
Yes. That's. I think they moved to Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Okay, yeah.
And it's
ooh, you're hitting me hard here today.
I didn't realize that
8.2.
until I got it here. I was just looking. My local guy is weak on dark beers.
Okay.
And I thought we'll get something that's a
Yeah,
little malty.
Doppelbock. I love that style. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, it brings back bad memories of when I tried, when you forced me.
To try the Lenten fast. Yep.
Yes, a beer-only diet.
Beer-only diet for a couple of days.
For some reason, I figured since monks drink it, it must be the right thing.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah, well, I like this. It's got a good malty flavor to it. There's something slightly.
I get all that malt. You just don't get any heat. It's just too much malt to taste the 8%.
There's some other slight, almost like a Belgian-y kind of a flavor I'm getting in there.
Well, I would think so. I mean, that's where with the original Paulie, what's it called? Paulaner
Salvatore, and those guys. But a
like
Doppelbock,
the original Doppelbock.
Yeah. Well, Doppelbock is a German thing, but there's something about the yeast.
There's a lot of information on the side there, but I don't know if it gives you any kind of a yeast characteristics.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, here we go.
We're in Germany. It tells you the malts.
Smooth caramel, stone fruit, fresh toasted grains. It's okay. It's chocolate, Munich, and Pilsner. It's delicious. I like it. Very tasty. I've tried making Doppelbocks with various success. Sometimes
it's enough to you can replace a meal with it, but I wouldn't replace
every meal.
3 days worth.
Okay, well we can stop that.
That's enough of that.
All right, so leftists, liberals, progressives. What else are we calling them?
Just normie Democrats.
Okay. Yeah.
So the very first show we ever did.
Yeah.
I was trying
about
to kind
young
of
Pigweed, I think it was
young
called.
pig.
Yes.
I was trying to sort of set up where I stand.
Yeah.
Politically. And we played the 5-man electric band.
Yes.
Sign everywhere a sign. And I was like, that was the vibe that I latched onto as a young man. I'm like, you know what? I'm a liberal. I admire the hippies who have a healthy suspicion of government, fighting against the man who's trying to control you and limit your freedom. Yeah. So that was my idea of what it means to be a liberal.
Right. Kind of a free spirit. It's more free spirit than anything else.
Yeah. And a little anti-government in there,
right.
And so my point is, we'll get to that little polarization meme chart in a minute, but that I am now gone from liberal to right-winger without moving my feet in many ways. So I'm going to go, well...
The ground has shifted.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, there was always... the leftist was like the far wing of the liberals.
Yeah, well, we've always had some communists, socialists, and those kind of things around here. But Democrat and liberal wasn't really associated with that. The communists and the socialists, they were way on the left wing, and the regular Democrat, the regular liberal, they weren't associated with that.
Here's a meme that a friend sent me. So explain this one here. Guy in a gal in a car. What does she say?
Okay, she looks like she was wearing a Star Trek shirt, but not quite. Why are you so far right politically? I'm just a normal person from 1995. Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
He's just like, all right, so 1995, so you're a Bill Clinton Democrat. You know, you're really not that politically involved. You're just like
Bill Clinton was against gay marriage, and
yeah, you're like a guy who's going. Yeah, I mean, you can't have open borders. I mean, you have to have safe streets. Government shouldn't be wasting money.
You go back and you listen to Obama speeches about closing down the border.
Yeah, we're talking way later.
They sound like far right crazy stuff now. Come to what?
Yeah, how about here? Read this one. Here's Chuck Schumer, 2009.
Okay. People who enter the U.S. without permission are illegal aliens, and illegal aliens should not be treated the same as people who enter the U.S. legally.
And right now,
you were to say that,
he's about to close down the government because Trump doesn't want to give free health care to illegal aliens.
Yeah, right. I know.
So, Chuck, it's not me going far right wing.
You didn't go anywhere. You went way, way, way to the left. Yeah. So why did that happen?
What else is going on here? So 1994. Right. So what else did we have there? Yeah. Right. Gay marriage. There's no.
Well, think about the hot topic issues. The hot topic issues: crime, the border, trans stuff. I mean, we're way past gay marriage. Now we're into, can you change a boy into a girl? Right.
Yeah. Right. So Normie 95 guy.
Yeah.
Whose opinions have not properly evolved.
Right.
I'm just like a regular guy from 1995. Yeah. Well, you were a regular guy
in 1995.
Now you're a right wing nut job.
Yes.
For not moving your feet.
That's right. If you don't follow along with the waves the way we want you to follow them, then you're crazy. So, but I want to try to classify what it is about liberalism.
Okay.
Like, what does liberalism mean?
Yes, and people will say, classic liberal.
Classical liberal.
Yeah. All right. What is that?
So, personal autonomy, what you're talking about, sign everywhere it's sign, you know? Individuals are rational and capable of being responsible for their own welfare and success.
So this is like early Enlightenment, liberalism.
Yeah.
Like when you say free market capitalist, like to define the West.
Yeah. We don't need
liberalism.
We don't need the government to be paternalistic. We don't need government as father or mother to guide us. We're free people. We can do our own thing.
Right. So normie conservatives will use the term, Western liberalism, not in what we're talking about today, which is the leftism, but to mean what you're talking about now.
Yeah. So individual rights to life, liberty, and property.
Good.
So the government's role is to protect those rights. Economic freedom, including free markets, opposition to government intervention, such as excessive taxation and regulation. Yeah. That was a liberal position. Constitutional limited government, and free speech. I mean, those are classical liberal positions.
You right winger. I mean, but almost it is. Go ahead.
But on almost all those points, the modern left has flipped it on its head.
Yeah.
So it's no longer personal autonomy. Everybody is broken down into a class, into a group.
Identity autonomy.
It's identity autonomy. It's not, you don't matter as an individual. You only matter as a part of this group.
Gotcha.
Right? So you don't have individual rights. You have like group rights. Everything is, they're always trying to create segments and divide people up into groups. And then that's how they measure the success of things. It's not, does this individual person have the freedom to do X, Y, and Z?
Is this group adequately represented in this sphere?
Did this group go to college as much as this group? Right. Did this group buy houses as much as this group? And that's not individual rights. That's this collective sort of stuff.
Right. That's how we got from equality to equity. But we'll come back to that.
Now on this one, I'm going to give the leftists a little bit of a pass. Okay. Increased government, because it used to be that the left was for more government and the right was for the old classification was the left was big government and the right was big business.
Yes.
Right. But now both the left and the right are big government / business.
You just cannot spend enough.
I know. We can't spend enough, and we can't give enough power to big business. So that's a sin on both sides. And it's terrible on the left, but it's also terrible on the right.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, I'm not going to blame that just on them. And then think of all the restrictions on speech that liberals have been advocating, so-called liberals, now leftists, have been advocating for the last several years. You know, if we don't agree with you, you can't be on YouTube, you can't be on Twitter, you can't say this, you can't say that.
Words are violence.
Right. So what the party that used to be about free speech, you know, back in the 50s, there was a lot of debate about whether certain books should be allowed to be published, you know, books about sexy stuff.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of big court cases about it. And the left was strongly on the side of freedom of speech.
And that's really, and you know, that's back when the ACLU meant something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's right. They were in favor of free speech. And now it's the left that's cracking down on speech. You know, Biden cracked down on speech like crazy. He had the government working with the censors at Twitter and Google.
This goes on the long list of right-wing conspiracy theories that just turned out to be like that actually happened.
Yeah, what's the difference between a right-wing conspiracy theory and the truth?
What's that?
About 6 months.
Yeah. So Google came out and they're like, they finally admitted. They're like, we did that because the government really pressured us, and we're sorry about that. You've been kicked off of YouTube for 4 years. But welcome back.
And just because they say that, who knows what kind of manipulative stuff is in the algorithm, you know, that nobody even knows. They've been building this algorithm to suppress conservative speech for so long.
Yeah.
Just because they now say, "Oh, we're not going to do that anymore." Yeah, sure. It's built into the code, for heaven's sakes.
Yeah.
So, Google is crap. But so classical liberalism, like human nature and responsibility. Classical liberalism is individuals are rational and responsible for their own welfare and success. The modern Democratic Party, the leftists, it's systemic barriers and inequities, group outcomes, and that require.
Hold on, yes, but all right. So let's. Are we saying that the topic is the difference between the two? But I think what we're going to get to is there isn't much difference between the two, the liberal and the leftist.
Oh, not anymore.
The liberal have conflated into.
Well, there's a huge difference conceptually between classical liberalism and modern leftism.
Right.
But in terms of practically speaking,
when I think of classical liberalism, I think of Enlightenment liberalism.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about the difference between normie liberals from 1995. Mm-hmm. You know, not from 1785.
Right.
And leftists. That has conflated really well since Chuck Schumer talked about it in 2009.
Yeah.
Talk about the conflation between the last post-Obama years.
Yeah, so
since Obama.
If you were to take quotes from Bill Clinton, Obama, Hillary Clinton, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, all these different characters.
Don't even bring up like JFK or Martin Luther King. I mean, those guys are right-wing nut jobs.
They are. And if you compare what they said to the modern left, it's like, wait a minute. Who are these guys? You read their quotes, you listen to their talks, and you say, they're just saying the same thing Trump is saying now, a little more eloquently.
So back to your chart.
Yeah.
Are you saying? Have we already in this argument for the purposes of this show?
Yeah.
Have we conflated leftist and liberal into just one thing? Because then that's kind of where I'm going.
Well, today, leftist and liberal are the same thing.
Okay.
But if you talk about a liberal from 1990,
yeah.
They're nothing like a liberal from today. They've completely changed. For whatever reason, they're just completely radically different.
I'm hoping. All right, this was going to be my assessment at the end of the show.
Okay,
let's get it out of the way now.
Okay.
That yes, I'm sure that there are moderate normie Democrat voters walking around, living a nice life and being a good person,
yes,
and voting Democrat because they always have, and,
yes,
and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people who would say that they're liberals, and kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
But from what I see about elected representatives who are Democrats, people on social media,
yeah. The people who are getting all the attention.
People who are, or people who are on MSNBC, pundits, all of that. These, I'm not seeing normie Democrat voter or normie liberal. You're all leftists.
Yeah. Now, people will say that both parties have moved to the extreme, that the Democrats have moved more extreme to the left, the Republicans have moved more extreme to the right. I don't think that's really true.
Don't give me this. I don't want to hear boathism.
Yeah, I don't think it's true. The left has moved radically to the left.
Yes, and they turn right. So they run to the edge of the cliff and turn around and say, "Why have you moved so far away?" It's like, yes, we are very far away, but I'm pretty much in the same place.
Because you ran that way for 2 miles.
I'm pretty much in the same place.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, since 1995, from where I'm standing, I've moved to the left on gay marriage. I've moved to the left on legalizing pot. So there's nothing from 1995 that I've gone to the right on.
Yeah, in what way is the Republican Party to the right of the way it was? Like, we don't have a John Birch society anymore. You know, we don't have. If you look at the conservatism of the 1980s,
yeah,
they were much farther to the right than anybody today. Like, who is to the? Donald Trump is to the right. Donald Trump is like a pro-gay, pro-trans president in a lot of ways. Yeah. You know, I mean, he is far more
centrist than anybody on the left.
Yes, the only things that he's supposed to be so conservative about are things that Obama said when he was president. You know, he wants to limit immigration. Now, Trump says it in a crazy sort of
bull in the china closet kind of a way.
He is. The way he says things is different for sure. But if you break it down to what he's actually doing, what his policies are, they're the same kind of policies that Obama had and that Clinton had. So it's the left that's moving. And the other thing that distinguishes the modern left from the leftists from previous liberals is violence.
Right, hold on. I'm ready to move into violence and socialism.
Yeah.
If you're done with your chart over here, because I think.
Well, I don't know if there's anything else. I mean,
okay.
On all these areas, it's equality is changed to equity, which is bullshit. Government, expanded government. Civil society is changed. Free speech. All these different issues. Oh, capitalism. So it used to be, if you were a liberal, you believed in capitalism. Nowadays, the leftists want to tear down capitalism. So it's really, the left has moved way, way, way to the left.
All right, I have two broad areas to move to. Well, since you brought it up, you want to do socialism first and violence second?
Sure. Yeah.
So, I heard 2/3, and then when I went to look it up, I came up with 62% of Democrats have a favorable view of socialism.
Yeah.
And I think about the Princess Bride.
I'm
not sure. I'm not sure that word means
what you think it means.
It's like so when you hear you 62% of liberals or who are now leftists.
Yeah.
When you hear that, what is going on in your mind?
What are you thinking?
What are you hearing? So, you're not bringing to the table like history and facts and nations and positive examples of success.
I think
so. When it goes into your ears, what are you hearing?
Fairness is what they're hearing.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right.
What they're hearing is the gap between the rich and the poor is way bigger than it used to be, and we need some mechanism to move more of that money down to the working class,
and that's as far as they're thinking it through. So,
and I agree with them on that. I mean, yes, we have too much of a disparity between the rich and the poor. Yes, I mean, kids growing up nowadays don't have as good of a chance of getting married, buying a house, having kids. That they don't have that chance the way we did growing up. So obviously, there is some serious fundamental structural problem with the economy. I'm with you on that. But the idea that socialism is going to change it,
so you're meaning, are you saying that the government needs to step in and confiscate money from rich people and give it to other people?
Of course not. Of course not. I'm not saying that.
No. In the person who's saying has a favorable view of socialism,
yes.
Is that what you're thinking that socialism means?
They're probably thinking the nice government people have to come and redistribute this money.
And we'll get free stuff.
Yeah.
That's because, Jeff Bezos won't get a big yacht, but then my life will be better or something. Yeah. So I think it's just a vague misunderstanding, and a completely historical misunderstanding.
And also a completely mathematically illiterate understanding. Have you seen the posts where somebody said, if you took Jeff Bezos' income and spread it around everywhere, then everybody would be a millionaire?
Everyone would be a millionaire.
I know. Do you know how math works?
Everybody would get $150.
Right. Or less. Yeah. So a lot of times it's just this naive simplicity. I think, I want things to be fair. Yeah. Take that guy's money and spread it around.
So back you brought up the equity thing earlier.
Yeah.
I think a combination of that and this 60s belief in equality of treating everybody fair was going to result in equal outcomes or something, and then meritocracy got in the way, and then they're like, well, equality didn't work out like I wanted it to, so I'm going to switch this over to equity, which means we all get the same stuff in the end. So you're meaning confiscation and redistribution,
yes.
Which
never works.
Yes, can you just... gosh, if only it had been tried once. You have 100 years of failure and 100 million deaths and poverty and misery.
People leave those countries to come to this country.
Yes. I mean it's nothing better to meet a recent Venezuelan who's in this country to get an appreciation for this country.
Yeah,
they lived through when it was the richest country in South America.
Right.
They grew up that way.
Yeah.
And then as adults, it's a hellhole. And they know it's because of socialism. Finally, they got out. And then you have a bunch of Che Guevara wearing idiots on campus going, we want socialism.
How many people in Miami are putting together boats to go to Cuba?
Thank you.
So it's this idea that socialism is some kind of a solution is just naive stupidity. However, it's naive stupidity layered on top of an observation about the unfairness of the way things are, which I agree with.
Yeah.
So I get the point that things are not being distributed well, that people don't have the same chances that they used to have, that the system is not working the way it should work. I get all that stuff. But if you think that socialism is the answer,
more that doubling the size and influence of government and government control over your life is the answer.
That's going to make things better? Are you kidding me? Yeah, that's just crazy. So socialism is...
So the embracing this is where to get on topic here, used to be confined to the leftist wing of.
And now it's just part of regular Democrat.
No, it's just like walking around every day.
Everyday Democrats.
We're about to get after Muslims take down the Twin Towers. 20 years later, we're going to have an Islamist communist running the most important city maybe in the world.
Yeah.
Hey, good. Slow clap.
Good job.
Good job there.
Yeah. So yes, socialism is a good example of how liberalism and leftism are different, because what I'm calling leftism what we have now, and what we have now is these bunch of dummies who think that socialism was a good idea.
Yeah, but the modern liberal is the leftist. It has been conflated into one thing, or progressive. I don't know.
Liberalism. Everybody who was a liberal is now a conservative, because the only people right now who are affirming classical liberal values are the conservatives.
Yeah. And they're going, I didn't go anywhere.
Right.
And now I'm a right-winger.
And that's what happened to Dave Rubin and a bunch of other people, is they realized, Tim Pool. Yeah, they thought, I'm a liberal. I'm a classical liberal. I believe in the things that I outlined before as classical liberalism. And then the ground
shifted under their feet.
And all of a sudden they realized, wait a minute, it's the Republicans who are supporting these things, not the Democrats.
Yeah. Private property. Like,
limited government. The whole idea of that the government has to stay within the bounds of its delegated authority. That's a classically liberal concept. And nowadays,
it's get the man off my back.
Yeah,
hippie liberalism.
Right.
Those guys.
Now I can hear the some people on the left saying, but Trump is doing X, Y, and Z, and so maybe we need to address that some other time. It's like, to what extent has Trump exceeded, his delegated authorities? Because that's what the left is. Some people on the left today are saying, you want to talk about keeping government within delegated authority. Trump is trampling. He wants to be a dictator. Blah blah blah.
The
authoritarian
aspect.
Stuff. So
write that down.
Yeah, we should talk about that at some point.
Yeah, but all right, another day.
Right.
So violence.
Yes.
Violence. This is where the thing that used to be confined to the Che Guevara leftist who love the idea of revolution.
Yeah.
And yes, you got to break some eggs and all of that business.
Yeah.
While your normie Democrat liberals are,
we just want
a little peace and love, and
we just want to bowl and play, play pool and stuff. We don't want to do any of that kind of stuff.
I mean, only the crazies over there.
But a ridiculous. If you poll people who are very liberal versus people who are very conservative, and you say, is violence okay to advance your political agenda? The number of liberals who say it's okay is like 10 times more than the number of conservatives who say it's okay.
Of course.
Yeah.
Easy. I mean, because they've all embraced the French Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
You remember they dragged out some mock guillotine to Jeff Bezos' house. I think this might have been part of the Eat the Rich thing.
Okay.
That was
called. Right.
So yes, this is to the by any means necessary crowd.
Yes.
The violence is part of how you get change.
They want to justify their violence by saying words are violence. So once they say words are violence, say, you're being violent too. I mean, we're shooting people, but you're being violent too by the words you say.
We're responding to your violence with violence.
Yeah.
Yeah, but our violence is word violence. Same.
We're just saying words.
It's the same. It's
the same. Exactly. That's their logic. And right now, right now today.
How about this? This is even better. So you're saying something bad about me is violence, so I can respond with violence. You're being silent about saying something good about me. Now silence is violence.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, if you're not actively promoting everything that I want, that's an act of violence, which means I can respond with actual violence.
It's almost as comical as when somebody says Islam is violent, and the Muslim says, how dare you for saying that? I'll kill you for saying that. Yeah. It's almost
with no concept of irony. You don't get that?
Right. You don't get that that's ironic what you're saying? Yes. So right now today, if we look at the past 2 to 3 weeks, we have an epidemic of left-wing violence. We have people shooting up ICE facilities, obviously shooting Charlie Kirk. We have people trying to shoot the president, and that's within the last 2 weeks. But, recently we've had so many incidents of left-wing terrorist violence against the right. And the worst part about it is not that some lunatic person did this thing. I mean, that's going to happen. There's always going to be lunatic people. The worst part about it is the number of so-called liberals on Reddit who cheer it on who say, or on Twitter, or on...
Well, yes, that is, but those are just dopes in their basement. You got MSNBC. You've got Keith Olbermann.
Yeah.
You've got people who are...
Jasmine Crockett. These so-called leaders.
How about this? Yeah. Can we take 2 minutes of silence in the chamber?
Mm-hmm.
Blah, 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 blah. You can't even do that.
Yeah, I know. Yes, it's absurd.
Both-isms and
all the both-ism stuff. I'm over it. There's no both-ism here. It's the left that's violent.
Well, so in recent years, it's not going back to the entire political history, but from George Floyd to today, George Floyd was an example of hey, you gotta expect this kind of thing.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Mm-hmm. You gotta let them blow off a little steam, considering the circumstances they're under, where drug addict black men are dying of overdoses in police custody.
Well, wait a minute.
You
saw all those cities on fire after Charlie Kirk was shot. All the riots and all the cities on fire.
The riots, the political assassinations, all the
cars set on fire, all the buildings.
Remember that?
I don't remember any of that.
You're right.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Yeah, none of that. Yeah. None of that. This is entirely
all that stuff is entirely on the left.
Thing, but. Yes. If it was if it was the left-wing crazies, this is the point of the show, then you'd be like, whoa, you got random. No, it's just kind of your average walking down the street.
Yeah.
Liberal, really, who's going, now we've got a couple just this idea, this Wisconsin professor placed on leave after flipping college Republicans' table over is the kind of... So you're a professor on a campus who thinks that... A place of learning, so I'm told, that we cannot tolerate different opposing views on a university campus.
I know.
That would have been... Right, some crazy lefty storming in and flipping a table. No, this is just like the professor in the humanities.
When I was in college back in 1492, I was somewhat politically active and did some political things on campus. And I remember going into one of my advisor's offices and talking to him about it. And he said, I see that you're involved in these. I knew he was a liberal. Right. Okay. He said, I see you're involved in these things. I support that, no matter what the cost. He knew that we disagreed completely.
Right. That's when a liberal was a liberal,
exactly.
And a liberal wasn't automatically also likely a leftist.
That's right. He was a liberal, but he supported the idea that I was involved in different kinds of political conservative things. And he was not a conservative. That's a liberal. That's a liberal. Yes, where you say, look, you have a right to say what you want to say. I remember classes where the professor would be spouting some left-wing stuff, and I would raise my hand and object, and he would respectfully have a conversation with me. And that's what was going on in the classroom. And
now, I'm hoping... Go ahead.
Yeah, and he would be... I remember at the end of the semester, liberal professors coming up to me and thanking me for having interesting conversations in the class to bring out interesting points of view.
So I'm hoping that is still going on all over the place, and what we're getting in the screaming meme voices of social media are the places where the weird liberal lefty professor is shutting down the Crow Hills of the world.
I don't think so.
Or I'm trying to be optimistic here.
I think the standard now is if you don't spout the liberal line, you get shouted down. And sorry, you can't talk that way. You're a hater. You're a bigot. You're a racist.
And it will certainly affect your grade.
Yes. Yep. We can't promote people like you.
Here's a little button that you might want to wear. It says, "I still hate commies." Even after they changed their name to liberals. So, kind of what's going. It's kind of how it's going. But they have so much surrounding support. That they don't feel like like the old commie name of the past. I thought like in the late 80s that the ridiculous belief in communism. Well, so kids out there, socialism is just commie-lite. It's really not that different.
Yeah.
And it's really the same thing. It just sounds nicer. You're commies. And
the only thing that's a little bit different about it is the communists. It seems to me, I'm not sure if this holds up, but it seems to me the communists are a little bit more explicit about the fact that we will stick you up against the wall and shoot you.
Good point.
When we take over.
Good point.
The socialists are
Right.
not quite so.
No, they're a little squishy on that point, but if they did a little bit of research, they find out that that's exactly how it works.
There's this guy Slavoj Žižek, who's a socialist from Eastern Europe, or a communist from Eastern Europe, and he's promoting this communist stuff, and he admits,
some people will need to be lined up.
Some people will need to be lined up, and I remember listening to one of his talks, and I thought after this talk, why shouldn't I just kill you right now? I mean, obviously I'm not going to. I'm not that kind of a guy. But if I hear somebody saying something like that,
before you get any power, maybe you just nip it in the bud right here.
Yeah. I mean,
because you've already said, we already know what your intentions
these are people who straightforwardly say, we're going to kill the people who oppose us. And that's what we're seeing on the left right now. That's
exactly what it is.
Charlie Kirk was saying things that we don't like. We're going to kill him. Now, okay, that guy might have been a lunatic. He clearly was. He had like a furry boyfriend or something like that. But millions of people on social media, Keith Olbermann, all these other people are justifying what he did and saying, yeah, this is the way it goes.
I'm not saying he got what he he got what he deserved, but you F around, and this is what happens when you talk like that.
Yeah. Do we want to go through this little diagram here?
Yeah, this is a fun little. We did this on the show about polarization, and we've kind of talked about it throughout the show about the shifting ground. But this is it's a funny little
illustration of what's going on.
Yeah, it's got a bunch of stick figures and a line that goes from left to center to right, and there's a guy on the right he's the conservative. Me, just standing here in 2008, left of center. Yeah.
And then you got somebody over on the left who's a little bit to the left of where.
He's my fellow liberal.
Right, but he's a little farther to the left, but he's still a fellow liberal.
And we're both on the left. I'm just a little bit. Nice. And then 2012.
The guy on the left is like running farther to the left, so the line has gone way farther to the left.
So the me guy hasn't moved anywhere, but the center line is like right against his little feet.
Yeah, so he feels like he's in the center now.
He's still in the left.
Yeah, but just barely.
Just barely.
Yeah, and then the guy 2021. Yeah. So the guy on the left has gone so far to the left. What does it say here? Not woke progressives, and he's over there saying
he's not my liberal friend anymore
because he's calling you a bigot.
Yeah,
because you are now to the right of the center line, which has moved significantly to the left.
Yes, still I'm standing here in the same place I was, but that center line is way over there, and the conservatives is giving you an LOL. Yeah, I told you, this is going to happen. Yeah. So this was the previous graphic that we joked about when we did the polarization show.
Yes.
Well, there's been an updated version for 2025.
Yes.
What does that one look like?
And now the liberal is over on the left looking at you through some rifle sights.
Yes, with a sniper gun.
Yeah.
And now the me who's still in the position, now he's really far to the left. Now the center has moved so far to the left.
The center has moved so far.
That he's just standing there. And what does the conservative on the right?
What the frack?
Yes, he's WTF. It was LOL, now he's WTF.
Yeah.
So
that's what we got now.
All I'm saying is I am hoping that that there's plenty of normie liberals, moderate Democrats walking around.
I'm hoping we recover before it comes to bullets. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's already come to bullets.
It seems like you're just getting your average professor, your average politician. So here's a gal. This is back when the Doge thing.
Yeah.
So here's a gal. It's a cartoon. Of course, she's got the obligatory nose.
Yeah. Which men just love.
Oh, they many men. And the picture is of Elon Musk and a bullet sign on his face says "Open Season," and the guy to the right
has a hat that says "Make America Great Again."
What does she say?
And she says your hat is offensive.
Yeah.
So the fact that she wants to kill Elon Musk, that's not offensive.
No.
But "Make America Great Again" is offensive.
Yes. Yeah. And that's
where we are. That's where we are. That's why the left today is not liberal. It's not liberal in the old definition of the word.
I don't even know what progressive means anymore.
It's just leftists.
It's just leftist, borderline communist socialists.
And what we're saying is, get the heck over it.
Yeah. I mean, remember your roots.
Yeah.
You know?
Go back to classical liberalism.
Good old 70s hippie liberals.
Read some JFK, for heaven's sakes. That's right.
Feel free.
Be a liberal.
Sheesh.
All right. Cheers. Thanks so much for listening to Beer and Conversation with Pigweed and Crowhill. Remember to visit us at pigweedandcrowhill.com or send us an email at pigweedshow@gmail.com.